Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today from Hasbro in their Marvel Legends line, we are featuring the Mojo World box set. Alright, so as of this recording, it's February 24th, 2024. I purchased this on Amazon through a third-party seller. I believe this was the convention exclusive from a few years ago. I want to say, I think the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So there is a standard release of the Mojo action figure, but with this special, edition box set, it not only comes with Mojo, but also comes with Dazzler, Longshot, and a Baby X-Men Wolverine accessory. I do think, if I remember correctly, that the Mojo does feature a much more premium paint job than the standard solo figure, which is usually the case with a lot of Hasbro convention exclusives. We've seen that before with some of their other stuff over the years, like with Transformers and whatnot. So let's get started. So first off, the package is amazing. It's a behemoth of a box, so it doesn't fit underneath my camera. It kind of takes on the appearance of an old school 1980s analog television set. If you're too young to remember, or if you weren't even born yet, prior to the crazy flat screen smart TVs we have nowadays, we had dials, knobs, and buttons on our TVs, which is kind of cool. You kind of see that drawn over here. Here was the old school speaker. Here's the old CRT monitor. It's nothing like the high fidelity flat screen TVs that we have now, in 4K and high definition. Really, really cool comic book illustration of old school 80s Dazzler, Longshot, and Mojo. On the back of the box, we have kind of like some comic book panels and descriptions up here, talking about Mojo and the Mojoverse. Mojo World is a pocket dimension ruled by the tyrannical TV impresario Mojo, who set his sights on the X-Men as his big neck stars. With Longshot and the mutant hero Dazzler now in his clutches, the television tyrant scuttles one step closer to his ultimate goal, total ratings domination. And this comes with Longshot, Mojo, Dazzler, and Wolverine. We did have a Dazzler figure some years ago in this costume. The only thing different is that one had the jacket and the short haircut, where this one does not have the jacket and she has longer hair. We have the Baby X-Men Wolverine. It looks like it's more of like a minifig statue than an actual articulated action figure. And over here we have Longshot. I want to say that this might be the same figure as the solo carded release. I'm not entirely sure on that. So let's get started. Take this out. All right, this is a giant box. I'm trying to figure out how to open this. Okay, so for a second I was thinking about throwing away the box, but now I don't want to. It comes with this really cool facsimile of a TV remote control, which is wild. That's awesome. Lots of baggies here. Alright, so here's the base for Mojo. Mojo kind of sits on this spider-like throne. It's almost kind of reminiscent of if you've seen episode 1, Phantom Menace. There's that kind of weird like throne, and then there's like the hologram on top, and this kind of reminds me of that. It looks like, are these light bulbs? Does this thing light up? I don't know. What's in here? Oh, we have Mojo's head. So like I stated at the start of the video, I think the Comic-Con exclusive does feature a much more premium paint job on the Mojo figure, I think. I'm not entirely sure on that. It's kind of cool how the tongue's actually molded of a different plastic. That's cool. What's inside of here? I'm guessing it's the Dazzler figure since it just has Dazzler on it. Alright, so Dazzler comes with an extra pair of hands, and then she has her light effects. Since she manipulates sound, and I think she converts it into like light energy. So it's kind of an interesting head for Dazzler, because part of me kind of feels like if you wanted to create Savage Land Rogue, you could probably use this head, especially since it has the headband and it's repaint the hair. I kind of like this one a little bit more than the 90s Dazzler figure we got some years ago with the coat. Set her aside. This looks like to be another part of Mojo. We'll assemble this in a little bit. Here's his tail. I kind of wish it was a bendy tail, but it's not. And then he kind of has like the thing on the back. Is this articulated? Yeah, this is articulated. It's kind of like tail stinger. So here's kind of like a facsimile of like a TV guide, and if you're unfamiliar with a TV guide, that's the old little publication magazine that would highlight, the week's television shows. There's that episode of Seinfeld where George's dad collects the TV guide, and then that one guy who's infatuated with Elaine, he kind of like steals it and like cuts it up and turns it into a bouquet of flowers. And over here we have Longshot. All right, give me a second. I do have the old figure on hand. Let me grab it real quick. All right, here's the older figure. All right, so this is the solo carded release of Longshot that was on the retro card. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. So the one thing that it might be hard to see on camera is that the star emblem on his coat is colored yellow on the retro card, where it remains white on the in the box set. But I think they're the same figure. Oh, well, oh, okay, that's cool. So the deluxe version in the box set, you just see his plain eyes here, whereas the solo carded one, his eyes actually flashing. It's kind of hard to see, but his left eye right there, it's colored yellow, and it kind of has the star emblem painted over it, whereas this one does not. And then Longshot has his accessories. He has his four-fingered hand that's opened up. He has his knife, and then he has a gripping hand right here. And I don't want to lose the knife, so I'm going to actually put it in the sheath. Right, there we go. And let's get to... I think this is the Wolverine. Yeah, here's ex-baby Wolverine. It looks like, is he articulated? His head is on a ball joint, so that's as much articulation. It would have been cool if they just gave us like a box set of the ex-babies, and you know, we got all of them. But this is really awesome. All right, here's the display base for the little baby Wolverine. That's so cool. Okay, so let's assemble Mojo. How does this work? I don't think there were instructions that came included with this. I don't know if he lights up or anything, because... Are these real light bulbs, or are they just made to look like light bulbs? Oh, okay, I had this upside down, right? One of my favorite Mojo figures, not that he's had a lot, but I do like the original Toy Biz one a lot from back in the, what was it, late 90s, early 2000s. Alright, so we have his spider body situated. Alright, so this is only going to go in one way. There's a larger peg in the front, a smaller one in the back, and you just line them up. Alright, the challenge with this is that the base here has these like prongs, and they kind of hug the body, but you have to line it correctly. You have to get it just right, which seems to be kind of, at least for me, a challenge. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. Okay, it's pretty easy. You just have to align them in place, and then they kind of fit in perfectly. His body, let's get this on next. So he already has a head on here. I'm not sure which one I like more. I kind of like the one with the tongue out more. I think it's a lot more expressive. Oh, dang it, this does not want to go on. And there we go. In terms of his hands, which hands do I like more? So he has these kind of standard gripping hands, and then he has these other ones that look a little bit more expressive. I like these. I'm going to keep those on. And then let's get his body assembled. I know this isn't rocket science, but it's not that it's hard, but it seems like it could have been done a lot easier. So there's this post here, and it plugs into underneath his chest, but I don't know if there's a front, if there's a perfect square, if it's a rectangle. Looks like a perfect square. God, this does not want to turn. What the hell? All right, I think I got it in. Right, it's kind of hard. I don't think I have it depressed all the way in. I might now, I don't know. Yeah, this is not an easy fit. It doesn't want to stay in place. And then when you try twisting it, because the post is on a ball joint, but it's really stiff on the inside, so it doesn't really want to turn. And mine's not facing forward, so whenever I turn the figure, it kind of moves this around. So I might have to, I don't know, figure out how to fix that later, but alright, I think that's the best I could do for now. He's kind of top heavy. I'm not sure how long these, I don't think the legs could bear the weight of the figure. Let's assemble the... There's that, and then there's this right here. It's kind of like his scorpion tail. Let's see if we get it on. Yeah, this is a heavy figure. I can't see how these legs bear the weight of the figure. I think that's why there's kind of like these clear, almost like facsimiles of like light bulbs, because I think the figure is kind of supposed to like stand upon these three things to make up for that weight, because it's not going to stand like you'd want it to. Alright, I think I got the scorpion tail plugged in. Again, this does not want to hold in all the way. And then you have these additional hoses which plug into his arms and his backpack. I'm trying to figure out what the right way to do this. Does it go in like this? Oh, okay. I apologize if I'm not getting this all on camera clearly. It's like I'm more focused on just trying to assemble the figure. Get this on. There we go. Yeah, this was not as easy as I would have liked. Alright, so let's take a look at the figures. This video is already running a lot longer than I thought it would. Like I said, it's a very top-heavy figure. And, you know, I was kind of under the impression that you'd be able to, like, the legs are posable, but because of the sheer weight of the figure, I don't think they'd be able to support the figure completely, which is why you have these kind of like clear light bulbs, because I think these are supposed to like sit flush on the table, and then the legs are just kind of supposed to be, you know, out like this. Yeah, there's no way this is going to support the weight of this figure. This figure is a beast. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's an awesome figure. It's heavy, but it looks fantastic. I don't have the solo release, but I do think the major difference here was that the Comic-Con box set had a much more premium paint job that was a little bit more detailed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the impression I was under. The scorpion tail, it's articulated at this top near the stinger. It doesn't. Once you have this plugged in, it doesn't really rotate. Like I pointed out, you have two different heads. You have the standard smiling portrait over here, and then you have the one with the tongue out, which I do prefer. The articulation, he could swivel beneath the breast line, but it's not that smooth of a rotation, and when I do move it, this guy has a tendency to pop off. And I'll try to figure out how to fix that later. The legs are articulated, but like I pointed out, it doesn't seem like they're going to support the weight of the figure. That's why I kind of have these little like fake light bulbs underneath to, like, I don't know, give the impression that it's at least standing on something. I don't think these light up. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't see any sort of battery pack or anything. Yeah, so overall, it's a great figure. If you can find this for a reasonable price on the secondary market, pull the trigger. You know, I think it's well worth it. You know, the Longshot figure I think is awesome. If you ask me which one do I prefer more, it's kind of a toss-up. You know, if you have the solo carded one with the flashy eye, you know, I think it's just as good as this one. In some ways, I kind of prefer the solo carded one more. And then, of course, you have the Dazzler. You know, if you already have the earlier Dazzler with the jacket, I think that one's, you know, pretty cool as well. You know, unless you really want a much more throwback look from the late 80s. Yeah, so overall, great set. So let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.